Hey yo, what's crackin', my beautiful people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Glad you could join me again today. Today's video has been a very highly requested video. I've gotten tons of messages asking for me to cover this topic, and it's finally happening. You guys are in for a treat. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make new school Belgian jump up drum and bass sounds. Now we're not going to be using NI Massive or Serum or any of those super expensive plugins. All this is going to be done inside of Helm. If you don't know what Helm is a completely free synthesizer that I actually covered in one of my previous videos. In that video I also cover some other awesome free plugins, so if you're looking for that, go check that video out as well. But yeah, you won't be having to spend any money at all to make these sounds. Now if you can get this video to 400 likes, then I will not only be dropping all of the patches that you can hear in this video, but I'm going to be dropping the whole project for you guys to download and mess around with. So if you guys want that, be sure to like the video and share it around with all your friends. Also, another really quick note, I'm finally going to be releasing my merch. I'm going to be releasing hoodies, t-shirts, and I might be releasing something else as well. You guys will see that soon. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding that merch drop, be sure to follow me on my Instagram page. And with all that being said, let's hop into Logic Pro and make some dirty ass jump up sounds. Let's do this. So these are the sounds which we're going to be making today. Now before you comment about my dancing skills, I know they're amazing, but anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes. So these three synths, as I've said, are made inside of Helm. Now if you look at Helm, we first need to dissect the basic structure and signal workflow of the sound to really understand how it is created. So we start in the upper left corner with the oscillators. You can see we have two oscillators, and then down here we also have the sub, but we don't use that. We turned it down all the way in the mixer. We're going to be tucking that away. If you want to use it, go ahead. I don't use it for these basses in particular. The important thing with these oscillators is that they're not stacked on top of each other. For example, like in NI Massive, this is frequency modulation. They're going to be combined together. So in the top here, you can choose which waveforms you want. And then here with this mod wheel, you can choose, how you mix them. Now what's important here is that we're going to be combining one which is at 0 or -12, you know, generally a lower area, and then you can see this right one is at 39, pitched 39 semitones upwards, which is a lot, but that is how you get like a super screechy sound. So yeah, once you got your screechy sound going, then we're going to be moving on to this filter area. I'm going to be dragging it all the way to the right, or you know, generally in the right area, to only let the higher frequencies pass through. You can turn this notch upwards to control kind of the stabbiness of the sound, and then this one controls the threshold of where you let the frequencies pass through. Obviously, if you're going to be putting it higher, it's going to be letting only those high frequencies pass through, which you're going to be getting a very screechy laser synth, but you're going to be dropping out harmonics. It's going to be sounding less full. It's going to be sounding less, how do you say it? It's just going to be sounding a bit more washed out. Like there's no real body in it. So be careful with this one to not drag it up too high. Now you can also see I put a LFO on this filter. You can do that by just selecting one of these LFO shapes and selecting the frequency right here. You can you click and drag it. There you go. You click and drag it. So you can choose the frequency there. And you can see here, free retrigger or sync to playhead. I've got this one on retrigger, so every time the sound starts, the LFO restarts. But you can, for example, sync it to a playhead and make your sounds contextually and relatively to the rest of your song. To apply it to the filter, all I did was press this Helm button here, and then you can apply it to anything of these. So for example, this, you click and drag, and there you go, it's applied to there. And to get out of this LFO mode, you just press the Helm again, and there you go. Now don't feel the need to just apply this to this one thingy that I applied it to. Feel free to experiment, maybe put it on the drive, maybe put it on this mod thingy between the oscillators, maybe put it on the distortion. Experimentation is what's going to get you these unique sounds. So apply this motion to a lot of different aspects, see what aspect changes what of your sound and what you like most. Also, this envelope depth and the key track are some very interesting parameters to play around with when creating these sounds. I don't know exactly how they work or like what they're changing about the signal that's coming through them, but can make for some good variations in your sound. So just play around with that. So yeah, after the filter, we move to the right. You can use this ARP or this stutter to make a consistent pattern. I use the distortion as well to beefen the sound up. You have soft clipping, hard clipping, sine folding, a lot of good different distortions which you can use to give that oomph to your sound. Then obviously delay for these sounds, otherwise you're going to be sounding dry AF. So as you can see, I used the frequency of 1/64th, which left me with a tonal delay of a pitch of F sharp. Now you don't need to use this built-in delay of Helm. You can obviously just turn that off and go in your mixer channel and add your own delay plugin of choice. It's up to you. Now this format is also something really interesting to make your sounds a bit more robotic and wonky. For example, you can also apply the LFO to this format or even apply a different LFO to this format. Beware though, this format can cause your sound to really go up in gain. So beware that you don't push your sound super hard when using this format. And yeah, that's it basically. Just a super simple workflow. You're going to be combining oscillators to get a screechy sound, then you're going to be filtering away to only let certain frequencies pass through, and then you can use these modules on the right like distortion, delay, and stuttering to polish the sound and give it more oomph and this and that. Now enough with the talking. I'm actually going to be muting these sounds and I'm going to be making a completely new synth right now on the fly using this technique. All these three synths were made using that one technique or like a slight variation of it. So I'm going to show you how easy it can be to create new ones. As you can see in the channel rack itself, all I have is the Helm plugin and then a channel EQ taking away the lower frequencies and just a compressor. Very basic processing. There we go. Okay, as you can hear, there's still reverb on there. That is because I'm passing it through a auxiliary bus. So we're going to be just taking away all these effects so we can hear the pure sound. Right, so we start off with the oscillators. Let's find a good combination. Alright, so we got this going, something with enough bottom and a very screechy top. Now I'm going to be moving over to the filter, drag this bad boy to the right, and now I'm going to tweak these parameters a little bit. I'm also going to be adding a LFO on this bad boy. Alright, so this is what I got so far. Some very robust sounds, but it's a bit dry and it needs some processing. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna move to this right section to polish it up. I'm gonna add some delay. Alright, so by adding some distortion and delay, this is what we've got. Something obviously very, very harsh. So we can fix that by adding a stutter to add like a pattern to it, or an ARP, or we can just do it inside our pattern here, whichever way you see fit. Alright, so this is what I've been able to cook up. Not the best synth, I'm gonna be honest, but it gives you the general idea of the workflow and how it works. Now I've just been messing around with this patch for like what, 10 minutes now? So you can see the more you mess around with these things, the more you can get the hang of this simple but effective plugin to make some really, really unique and powerful Newskool sounds. Changing something as simple as this envelope or key track, or adding a format, or just changing the shape of the LFO can drastically change how the sound is. See how easy it can change? I can even show you on this other synths that I've already got. For example, this one. So this synth pattern is actually played on D, not F sharp, which is the tonal delay's pitch. But because of that tonal delay, the actual pitch of the sound is on F sharp. So if we adjust that in the pattern, for example, very simple adjustment. Bro, that sounds fat as hell. Even Nicki Minaj's ass ain't even this fat. Anyway, I'm sure you get the gist by now. This plugin works wonders. It has a very simple structure. You pick your oscillators, mix and match, then filter it, and then polish it with these simple modules to the right. If you just apply the right workflow, you can get some really, really good sounds out of it. Also, there's a lot of presets included in the plugin, which you can go over and see how the presets are made to kind of take some aspects out of those presets and apply them to your own sounds. It's all about experimentation with this plugin, to be honest, and I've had tons of fun making these Newskool basses because it is so simple to make them. But yeah, once again, if you guys want these specific patches and the whole project, let's get this video to 400 likes. If you guys really enjoyed it and want to see more of these types of videos, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. That way my videos go straight into your news feed. Also, if you're eagerly waiting for more of these type of tutorials, I've got a bunch on my Patreon page in which I go over all types of basses and all types of aspects of drum and bass production. So go take a look at that. Also, drop a comment down below of what type of tutorials and videos you would like to see appear on this channel. I don't want this channel to be solely drum and bass and solely jump up. I will gladly cover other topics and other genres like house or rhythm or stuff like that. Music is music and I enjoy making it, so I would just like to hear what you guys want me to show you. And yeah, I think that's about everything I wanted to cover in this video. Now get to making some nasty sounds, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.